Hi, this is Paul Case, Info Soldier 1986 here. Apparently there was a terrorist attack thwarted just 180 kilometers southeast of Moscow, which is basically 35 miles southeast, if calculation serves me right. Well, apparently President Putin had urged law enforcement agencies to crack down in the North Caucasus to make sure that the security is upheld for the Games, which Putin's pet project and an opportunity for him to show off Russia as a modern and developed nation. Now, it appears that the terrorist attack was done by a woman who was born in Dagestan, which is basically about east of Russia. On Monday, killing herself, at least 6 other people, in the deadliest terrorist attack outside of the North Caucasus in more than 2 years. The bus was heading towards the city centre on the highway about 2 p.m. when a fiery explosion ripped through it, scattering debris across the road. Video footage was taken by a dashboard camera, or dashcam, showed. Investigator committee in a statement said that 6 people were killed in addition to the suicide bomber, suspected of being 30-year-old Naida Azyalova, and 33 people were injured. Many of the casualties were school children of age 15 to 16, probably heading home from school or heading out to school, if you're judging by the time scale and the time situation. Okay, yeah, apart from that. So let's zero back to the threats to Putin from the head of Saudi intelligence, Prince Bandar bin Sultan, head of the intelligence agency in Saudi Arabia. Well, due to what we've had this year with the prevention of the Syrian attacks, and also there was also an outmaneuvering, not just to the Saudi Arabians, but to the NATO, Western MI6, CIA, and also who the sworn puppet for the CIA and MI6 and NATO for the West is Prince Bandar. He apparently, during a private conversation with the president, as back as 2 months ago, saying that if you do not if you block the Security Council is aimed to have a preemptive attack on Syria, and this is the person who he's shaking hands with, Prince Bandar bin Sultan, which is the head of the Central Intelligence Agency, or the MI6 for Saudi Arabia, which is a Wahhabist outpost which was set up by British intelligence in the 40s and in the early 1900s. Now, looking at this, this is also an interview between Dr. Jerome Corsi and Alex Jones on the Alex Jones Show. What was also mentioned in the interview between that they had on the show was about Barack Obama's Barack Obama's connection to the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, and also the financing and probably the proxies to Hezbollah, but Hezbollah is a different kettle of fish. So let's zoom in back to this. Right. Jerome Corsi also mentioned in this, which the Vice President of the Supreme Court, who is a female, who wants the investigation opened. And it also has a connection to this with the terrorist attack that happened in Nairobi, which was which was most of it thwarted by an ex-UK military officer. Also, looking on this, Saudis threaten Russia with Olympic terrorist attacks unless it abandons Syrian support. Also, what we've had with the developments that we've had for the past couple of weeks now, that they've offered a solution that Bashar al-Assad will hopefully take down and also decommission his weapons, the chemical weapons, so-called chemical weapons. Now let's fast forward to this, of what the papers say. Looking on this, on the first is called from BBC Morning. The arrest of Orkan Zinilov, who is suspected of killing Yegor Shcherbakov in Moscow, Bielorov, where a riot erupted on October 13th, which is on page 4, 523 words. Irina Alexandriova, the article headline, Wahhabis take up chemistry, says a terrorist attack has been prevented at the Mariovsky chemical weapons storage on the facility of Kirov region. 2 men were arrested in connection with the crime. Could this be the second attack that has happened in a year? Plus, if you zoom back a couple of years ago, which involved Chechen terrorists a couple more years ago in a theatre in Chechnya, and also the Beslan siege. Also, with the prevention of the terrorist attacks that happened in Kenya, with an ex-UK military who saved his wife and daughter, who's had a weapon in his possession. Probably it was a self-loading or a semi-automatic handgun, probably a Glock or probably a Browning, UK military issue. If it happened in this country, I'm sure that the fella would have been taken in and would have been incarcerated. If you look at this now, and it's playing it now on RT, the terrorist attacks, and also this could be a connection. Now, looking at this article, it does paint a lot of words. Now, if you look at the present crisis that we've been having in the Middle East, with the BBC faking the hospital scenes in Ghouta and probably in Malula. Now, let's go to Sky News. Sky News. Now let's have a look at this Western media outlet would say. Russian security officials say they have thwarted a terror plot attack after a rage in which 2 people have died and 1 was arrested. Could this be a repeated attack that has been happening getting up to the Sochi Olympics in as late as next year, or probably this year? I don't know. But a forceful action has prevented an attempted attack of terror in the capital. The National Anti-Terrorism Committee, the NIC, said in the statements 2 suspects were arrested during the raid on a house in a town in Orakovo Zoroyevo, 85 kilometers east of the capital, according to Russia's Interfax news agency. Now, it appears the Federal Security Service, the FSB, or the Federal Security of Russia, has said militants were located in the houses of Orekov and Zoryevo. These criminals, who are citizens of the Russian Federation, came from Afghanistan. Oh yes, Afghanistan also. The Pakistan region, and were received training in preparation to commit the terrorist attacks. So there must be, as what was said last time, Hamid Karzai, who is the outgoing president of Afghanistan, has also said this, that the West is behind many attacks and terrorist attacks, if you zoom back in recent memory, with according to Operation Gladio. And I will hopefully update you on this in due time. So this is Info Soldier 1986 reporting from a location in Ormskirk. I cannot verify what I cannot verify from, but verifying that this has come to at least the fore. So thank you for listening to this this commentary from me. Thank you. Bye.